yesterday, so I do not have to introduce you into the basic. It is about having collaborative dialogue around questions that matter. But I offer you truly to go a little bit in deeper level. What is needed to host harvest, to initiate conversation, to be a host of World Cafe? What are the basics? What is it good for? How to start? And where to be careful? What should you really think about? And how can it be used in the organization, communities, networks? I will also offer you my experience and my practice. How did I use it in some big corporations, in small organizations, in some networks, in what was my experience and my learning outcome.
World Cafe, once, first round.
Yes.
Your turn. My turn. Okay, I will introduce open space. You have seen one version of it yesterday. I'm sure that some of you have experienced it many times. I'm just in love with the open space. And I opened the book again this morning from the guy who invented, let's say, open space, and I just love the way he puts the freedom into the people and give them back the responsibility for their actions. And this is what I would like to give in this lecture, really. So these basics, underlying patterns which open space really supports, and also how it can be set in different contexts in the world of business, in the world of non-profit organizations, from my own experience.
I could just say that I will do it in the second round from my experience, but also to offer different contexts and also the basic pattern, especially this self-organizing and responsibility and passion. Love it, joy.
Circle practice.
Circle, I outline it, I add dialogue to
Yes.
it, just because that's where I am at. Dialogos. And here, actually, but that's a question, I would put presencing a little bit. And in my life story, the fountain of many of these processes was originating from David Bohm's dialogue. And so that's what I want to offer. My understanding of what I know of, what are the core principles around that, and what are the challenges around that, and how I see that linked up with World Cafe, open space, some of these technologies. That would be like the first round. The second one, I was thinking of you, Elena, based on our morning conversation. You already heard it, me.
Presencing.
That's right. So if you came, if I can invite you to do it together, or Luigi, because you have that, then I would say we three of us offer a next step around presencing, if you are happy to join me.
Sure.
But if you don't want to go somewhere else, I'd be very much honored. Yeah? So then the focus would be on presencing, and it's Luigi and Agota and Elena. So that's us. Presencing, for some people might know, some others not so much, also comes from this culture of collective culture which is so strongly developing. And there are moments in our morning conversation we were almost identifying areas where we feel that there seems to be, for a deeper shift or transition to be made, there needs to be processes like presencing, and we were experiencing some personal processes where that really shifted the whole conversational field. So that's why we thought that the offering. It is, sometimes I call it theory U, because the process we kind of is described according to letter U, betu. So how that really relates to personal, collective development, and I think deep strategy decision processes as well.
Erika.
Okay, Correction Cafe. Yesterday you experienced World Cafe and open space, if you remember, like in the morning and in the afternoon. So Proaction Cafe is actually a blend of these two methodologies. Word Cafe is more focusing on the question that matter, and open space is a really free methodology. Proaction Cafe is a more structured way of actually project generation, because these are not questions or topics, but like projects or kind of ideas that people bring in, and using the collective information and intelligence, these projects are developed in small groups, so the setup is really similar. So I will go through you like how the methodology works. I mean, its structure is really important, so it's like the time frames and all the other frames, and also like what I experienced by using this really powerful actually methodology. That was the first part, and I just quickly say a little bit about the powerful questions. And questions are the ones who are kind of creating the curiosity and actually setting the purpose. So in this 45 minutes we will work a little bit on like how to form a question, how to identify like what is the real need or what is the real purpose of a discussion, of an organization, and how can we create powerful questions and use this and maybe clarify it even more than what we thought this is the question in the first place. So these are the two slots.